You may have seen her on the soccer field, at a wrestling match, or perhaps gardening in our organic garden, and she'll be attending the University of Washington next year. Please welcome.
Yes.
Football is what brought me here. And no, I know what you all are thinking, not to play, although I did play tackle football for 5 years. But I'm here because of a Baylor-Macaulay football game. October 2022, that's when I heard about Baylor for the first time. My mom and stepdad Tim, who is a Baylor alum, had just returned back to Washington from Tim's reunion where they watched Baylor beat Macaulay in football. My mom was ecstatic. She explained to me that she had already talked to Mr. Armstrong, and this is where I need to be. I was in shock. I'd never heard of Baylor, and I was already in my junior year, so I wanted nothing to do with all this talk about going to a boarding school in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But eventually I gave in and agreed to fly out and see what the school's about. I remember my first thought was, wow, this campus is gorgeous. With the fall leaves covering the ground, the vibrant colors mixed with the beautiful green grass and the red brick buildings with a view to the Tennessee River. It's really a beautiful sight. I had an amazing tour, getting to see all the amenities Baylor has to offer, as well as getting to meet the incredible teachers and kind students. I realized going here wouldn't be so bad after all, and I was even excited. Fast forward a couple months later, I got accepted and had to make a decision to let go of my comfortable life to follow a new path. I had people telling me I wouldn't be able to keep up with the workload, saying that the people there are so different in that part of the country, that I won't even pass the entrance exam, or I wouldn't fit in or make any friends. All this just made me want to prove them wrong. The truth is, though, I did have a rough start. Making friends and adjusting to the new environment was challenging. Living with a roommate wasn't exactly how I imagined it, and soccer didn't go the way I had planned. So I was stressed, upset, and on top of it all, homesick. I remember even asking people how long it took them to get used to Baylor because it felt like I never would. That wasn't my whole experience, though. The first thing I noticed that helped me get out of my head was that when walking around campus, I was reminded of the Barbie movie. If you're unfamiliar with the Barbie movie, the Barbies and Kens greet each other while they pass on their way while walking around Barbie Land. Baylor's just like that. I thought the tradition was so sweet and inviting that I eventually started doing it as well. Soon, I found friends to enjoy all the things Baylor and Chattanooga has to offer. I found my people in my dorm. I grew to love soccer, shout out to the JV soccer team, and even got to be with varsity for their state title. This was all perspective. I could have continued the year wishing to go home, never reached out, to meet people, quit soccer, and stayed in my room miserable. But instead, I took my challenges as an opportunity to grow. In this new environment, no one knew what I was like growing up, so I had the opportunity to be who I wanted to be instead of what was expected from me. I tried out wrestling and loved it, and became known by the team as Trunk Rider. This was because one time I offered to sit in the trunk the whole way back from one of the tournaments. I also found the weekend walkabout trips, a future roommate who became my best friend, a new appreciation for country music and pickleball, and an entirely new perspective on Baylor. I learned that this was a place that cultivates growth, excellence, and community. When I came back as a senior, I started the year off missing home, but this time I knew that long would end. I knew my time was limited, so I decided to focus on the few friends I'd made that I deeply connected with. I got through the college process, maybe got some senioritis, but generally made an effort to utilize my time here at Baylor thoughtfully. I embarked on a Baylor trip to Roatan, Honduras, not knowing anyone on the trip and nervous, but I returned with a couple of new friends and got to know some of the coolest people here at Baylor that I never would have interacted with otherwise, and a newfound appreciation for diving. I found what's made Baylor special. It's the people. Baylor has become my new home that I don't want to leave just like in the beginning, when I was scared to leave the place where I was most comfortable and jump into the deep end that is life. I'll admit, my mom was right, and I'll forever be grateful to my stepdad Tim and my mom for making this all possible, as well as my dad for supporting me through school and soccer. I'm so grateful to my teachers and coaches for living up to the Baylor standard and making this place so special, as well as the friends and my bonus family I've found along the way that have made me feel appreciated and loved while here. I've been in high school for approximately 1,728 days. And for those of you doing quick math, no, I didn't calculate wrong. There's a bonus year somewhere in there. I've definitely been doing this for a while, and I'm excited to move on to the next chapter of my life. But for now, while it is finally coming to an end, I'm realizing how much I'm really going to miss it. So, if you take anything away from this speech, make it this. Talk to someone new, go on that trip, take a risk, reinvent yourself, and find things that make you uncomfortable, because those are the things that are going to push you to grow. Thank you, and as always, go Big Red.